My name is Angeline, and I am a student at SAIT reporting for the press.
Hi, everyone. I am Raul Panaya. I am the co founder and producer at Yaiba Productions.
Hello, I'm Marco Vitelli. I am one of the co-founders and one of the actors in Yaiba Productions.
All right. So, how long have you two been in SAIT AMC for?
I've been in State AMC for just around 2 semesters now.
I took over as president of AMC in the winter semester of 2025, so I've been in it for the last 3 semesters.
Okay. How did Yaiba Productions start?
Originally, when we started Yaiba Productions, it was an idea just to market the State Anime and Manga Club more. However, when we realized the impact that it could do and how much we could create, that was when we kind of took a second to form something more. So instead of deciding to just make it about a school club or just some students making a school project, we took it at the angle of let's take a chance on this and make a business, an idea, and a platform that can help others and become something more.
Just to add on to that, I believe that there was a very funny story how we started with the initial idea.
Mm-hmm.
In AMC, we have lots of general meetings where the members are able to do as they please, and we have a small community inside the group that does D&D, which is Dungeons and Dragons tabletop. We have a lot of storytellers, and some of our minds came together to create a story that we thought was actually quite moving and something that we'd like to share with others in film and video. So we designed a script, put the story to paper, and decided to come up with an entire production studio to back up this passion project.
What made you want to work on Project Yaiba?
For me, it was just the idea of giving people a space to create. I've often said that with Yaiba Productions, we aim to empower and to give the full creative potential of others a chance. And with that, we wanted to find not only creators, but small businesses and others that wanted to take that chance and that same idea of putting themselves out there and becoming something more than being someone forced into a basic corporate job or spaces. We see a lot of creative people being forced to create things they don't want to, that they're not passionate about and don't care about.
It's a very similar story for myself as well. As the president of AMC, I wanted to give opportunity for others to shine and to have the same kind of after school feeling that I had when I went to high school and I went to my anime club there. This was always the value of the club to have kind of the same feeling, and Project Yaiba has brought that out. It is a drama project, it is a basha project, it's a film project, it's a diverse space where we have a bunch of different ideas, new ideas that some of the students have not seen before or interacted with, but we wanted to give them a safe space, a no stress environment to have these opportunities, because not everyone participated in theater, not everyone has had that same opportunity that I had. So I wanted to push for Project Yaiba to come into AMC and to give that same space and opportunity for the members of AMC.
I see. So I guess that leads on to my next question. What is Project Yaiba exactly?
Well, if I may for this one,
Mm-hmm.
what Project Yaiba is an idea and multimedia project that combines creative talent with the drive of small businesses and creators in mind, to where we combine and inspire and bring hope to others that they have a chance to forge something of their own and be a part of something of their own. What it is is a project that combines creative narrative story with the business element along with the, well, creative community as a whole.
A little bit more on the content of it. The setting and the themes are very closely matched to contemporary storytelling, and we take a lot of inspiration from a lot of popular media that is around us now. But the setting is still there to be a backdrop for our messaging that we want to get to people. We wanted to create a diverse space, and we wanted to talk about how sometimes that's not something everyone can find these days, and that even the city we live in, the place that we do our work in, cannot always give us what we dream about. So this is kind of a dream passion project where we can then use the setting and the storytelling to let our members have a voice.
I see. So, without spoiling too much of it, what is the main premise of the series? What is it about, etc.?
Well, specifically getting into the series that we're working on right now, the mainline series is called Yaiba Condemnation, and it is a series that focuses on a group of criminal syndicates that rule a sovereign city state that are now forced to rise up above themselves and become something more to combat a religious cult that is connected to a past enemy of the world itself.
So, like Raul said, that it is a collection of different crime syndicates. We wanted to create a story about the forging of a blade. Yaiba is actually just Japanese for blade,
Oh, okay.
and we have with us different elements, different metals that go towards the forging process that is going to take place during our story. There's going to be a lot of traumatic events that will happen to our characters. They will reach their lowest points, but then they will rise up because not every hero starts as somebody who comes fresh out of school, visions of justice, and a qualification to mete it out to villains. Sometimes it takes really dark places in order for people to find out how light can still shine through. So we hope that we can create that kind of a story that has a more emotional impact and still shows that anybody can be a hero.
Hmm, I see. Well, that actually did answer my next question on what Yaiba is. So I'll move on to my next one. You mentioned earlier that the series was inspired by different pop culture. Were there any specific video games or TV series in questions?
I guess one of the biggest of them was sort of a lot of mecha anime. So me and Marco personally do love the Mobile Suit Gundam series, and that was something we did take quite a bit of inspiration from. However, it does also branch into more common media. Like there are elements that we have taken from movies such as The Godfather, Goodfellas, things that you'd see in mafia movies that were a massive part of modern day culture and modern day entertainment culture. Along with that, we also took inspiration from the Cyberpunk and Cyberpunk Edge Runners series, just with how they fleshed out their characters and created their cast of lovable misfits that uh, went through quite of a bit of a roller coaster.
I see.
Yes, if you are familiar with any kind of tabletop gaming, there's also a rulebook called Shadowrun. It's very close to the same genre where you have cyberpunk, corporate, new Neo City, where people have to work on the edge, the outskirts of society in order to accomplish their missions. So the cyberpunk setting is a very good backdrop for having characters that come from uh, less than stellar backgrounds in order to rise up and become the heroes. It does take a lot of writing talent, which I'm very happy to say that we have in abundance with the multiple members who are working on the writing of the story. Um, all these inspirations, though, do come from our past, comes from popular media like Mobile Suit Gundam or Cyberpunk Edge Runners. But there's still just a little bit of us and our own like video game lives, our own movie experiences. Like for me, I think back to even stuff like the trilogy series, like the good old days when we were watching Lord of the Rings and Star Wars like that. We want to have a hero rise up and do something good, but the new way of doing things, the contemporary storytelling we have, shows that it's a lot darker and a lot more gray than it used to be. So you'll probably see a lot of that in our
Ooh, so with that then, are there how many parts can we expect for the series?
As of right now, we are planning on 4 acts that consist of 4 episodes per act.
Okay.
During that, however, as we do understand that being an indie project and being a group that does have to do everything in house, it's quite grueling, especially as students that we do have lives outside of Project Yaiba. We are working on the multimedia aspect in the form of a sort of introductory series that will lead into the events of what we announced in Yaiba Condemnation, which is Yaiba Ashes of Allegory. It will be a audio based series that will follow up and build into each episode and each act as you find and come to understand the background of the world, what happened to get the world that way, and how our characters became the people that they are now.
Okay.
um yeah, as Raul was saying, that there's going to be more additional content that isn't just the mainline series that is going to be filmed. We are trying to work very hard with all of the people supporting us, the name brands that have decided to join us in our voice talents, and also seeking help from organizations like the Calgary Independent Filmmaker Group, by utilizing all these elements and contributing as much personal funds as we can. A lot of us have put in a little bit extra just to keep this shoestring budget going and getting the gear that we need to elevate this from just a story shot on iPhone to a real film project with real chances of becoming something sensational. So, besides us blowing up on YouTube tomorrow, I hope that we maintain our morale, maintain our energy, and we're able to continue to deliver as we've done up until now.
Okay. Have you worked on other projects similar to Project Yaiba in the past?
I personally know how I kind of started is I did always love content creation. Always grew up watching creators like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, and specifically, I guess, with Markiplier and some of the little stories and things he's created that did inspire me quite a bit. But I guess speaking on that point and kind of to answer your question, like straight up, no, I personally have not worked on something of this scale until now. However, it was an idea, it was a risk, and I believe that in the life that we do have, and especially in a world where we are always told to behave and be good little soldiers, it takes someone willing to break the cycle and genuinely take that risk to make a difference.
Well said. It sounds like you've been paying attention to one of our bigger supporters, Brennan
Yeah.
Hunter. Um, it was
Lots of credit to Brendan. Lots of credit.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's quite a stellar individual, and he's said it himself. What we need to do is learn to be okay to take risks and learn to play. As for myself, I actually do have a bit of experience because I come from a more traditional background. When I finished my 4 years of high school with my drama experience and being in multiple musicals and plays, I thought that I would actually be a credit to some of my friends who went into film programs in college. So back in London, Ontario, I was involved with a few different student films where we were shooting in like abandoned churches in their basements or their undercrofts. I made some set pieces for like cash to like help keep the projects running, and Yeah, there's like a lot of experience out there from the other cast members who also have more of a theater background. So what we're trying to do is to make sure that we cover each other's bases. So we have the new school content creation and the old school traditional, so that we have a well-rounded project that incorporates the best of all those worlds.
I see. So, I mean, I did want to get onto that too. Considering that there's several well, people on this that are working on this project, what is something you have to keep in mind considering there are different skill levels in what they're doing, be it acting, be it script writing, be it the props, etc.
Ooh, that's actually a really good question. But I guess when it comes to these varying skill levels and the different people, it's it is a matter of taking the chance to give an opportunity. It's less about, oh, these people don't have the skill that we want, or oh, these people aren't exactly what we want them to be. It's more so simply asking, what could they be? What would they want to be? How can they shine in a way that would be unique simply to them?
I'll say for my part, as somebody who has had a lot more experience, the thing that I look out for that I need to be cognizant of is that when you have different age groups, when you have different experience levels, there's different tolerances for discomfort. And a lot of times we have to take breaks, not just because people have been working hard, but people have been emotionally drained when they have to put up with that level of discomfort. So, um, we can't just assume everyone here is going to be a consummate actor and wants to be on screen for an 8 hour shift to get their lines done. We have students here who have exams, who have to study, who have to go home on a train that's 2 hours away from campus. So, basically, it's just about finding that lowest common denominator where we can all still come together, and then after the work is done, finding a time to relax so that we can then reward the productivity.
Nice. I'll continue on then. What inspired you to bring it to life?
Ooh. Oh, did you so would you like the flat cringy answer or would you like the more
Literally
professional answer?
any answer you can think
I
of.
am, well, considering Yaiba's all about transparency and being real. Um All Might. All Might.
From My Hero
I guess
Academia?
from My Hero
Oh
Academia.
my.
So one of the things I did while I started this sem is I did start rewatching My Hero Academia, and I also revisited some old series like Ultraman Nexus and a couple
Oh.
others that I really connected with, like for example, Kamen Rider Ryuki, things like that. But specifically, All Might from My Hero Academia. Uh, just I guess that message. I've always loved characters that stood up for themselves. Like some of my favorites are like Asta from Black Clover, where he's all about surpassing his limits. And then you have characters like uh, even Naruto, who always uh, stands up and talk no jutsus his way through things, right? But more importantly, with All Might, there was this message to who he was and this idea. He didn't want to be just another hero. He didn't want to just be another guy on TV. He wanted to be a symbol. And that whole idea of this character that stood up and wanted to be something more and was willing to be something positive and good and a symbol for good, I feel like that is something that was enough to push me, and I hope push others to stand up and want to embody that.
As for me, I took direct inspiration from the members here. I remember when they first came to me and they're just like, "Yo, we really want to tell this story. We think it could be really big." And my first thought was, "Okay, but like, are you actually serious? Do you think that you're going to be able to put up with the hours? Do you think you're going to be able to put up with not having any money at all, no profits in the near future?" I just kept looking at Raul and kept looking at all the cast members who were like, this is fun. This is something I want to do. Even if no one is getting paid here, everyone was enjoying themselves so much so that I said, fine, I'll contribute my money. I'll put down as much as we need in order to get the equipment, get our plans in motion, and I'll reach out and contact different organizations in order to make it happen. I was inspired by those who were inspired to do this work. So, yeah, that's where mine comes from.
I see. So is State AMC like the only one working on this, or are there other organizations that are collaborating in this project too?
At the moment, actually, we do have a few that are contributing. Outside of AMC, we have the Articulate Speakers Association, which is lending their help in terms of promotions and speaking out, and even helping with potential future open houses for Yaiba, allowing more people to see and to potentially find a role that they could be part of. Other than that, our biggest and probably the sponsor that I'm most proud to speak about is Brendan Hunter. As last night he did attend and was there to give a little lecture on his experience and his life and the way in which Brendan shows things, does things, and even embodies the idea of being a voice actor and being someone that is just outstanding. He isn't your everyday celebrity. He's someone who is a part of the community, who wants to stand for something more, who wants to be something more. And he embodies a part of our culture and our world that we are in that showcases good, which has empowered us and driven us to get this far, which I feel like he deserves all the credit he can get. With that being said,
Mm-hmm.
um, aside from that, another really awesome team that we're working with is over at Alchemy Labs, which is a small business over in Sunridge Mall. All of
Ooh.
the props and a lot of the things you see, from the masks to the weapons to some of the set pieces that you'll be finding within the Yaiba series, are being made by them. They're talented, they're great, they're amazing people because they showcase their creativity and they have these their 3D printers and everything set up in shop. So you see all the amazing things they make and put together, and them being such a massive part of the creative community, making everything from cosplays to props to even pieces that are used in other short films and pieces of media. It's something amazing. It's something powerful. And I feel like by partnering with them and teaming up with them, we were able to showcase something that so many would overlook. Because in a simple store that you just see a bunch of 3D printers, right? Yes, it's cool. However, not everyone would be willing to hear their story, and not everyone would actually get a chance to hear their story. So Yaiba taking that chance to have these people that and businesses that are joined with us, we get a chance to showcase them and, in a sense, be a part of their journey too and their own story.
Um, Basically, all the major components are right there. I'll just say very shortly that
Mm-hmm.
there's just one other organization. So a lot of the Yaiba team members are also affiliates of the Lions Club's chapter here in Calgary, the Omega Leo. So that's just a group that falls under the nonprofit organization Lions Club International. Omega Leo is members between the age of 18 to 30 who do charitable work, collect money and donations in order to hold events and to give out food and clothing to needy. And they also do recycling for like lenses and glasses. They have like a few of those events coming up in the future. So yeah, we were able to luckily get that club affiliated, with most of the members coming from Team Yaiba. Since we're all working together, might as well practice what we preach and give back to the community that we're talking so much about in our story.
And I guess one other party that I actually have to give a big thank you and definitely mention, we have an in-house artist
Ooh.
actually that is making all of the music for the uh, Yaiba story. That being the talented Noma, who is a small artist based here in Calgary. He makes EDM music, and he's also one of our close friends. And working with him and giving him this chance, where essentially what I did is I went up to him and said, "I want you to cook. I don't care how hard you cook. I don't care how you do it. Cook, and we will see what happens." What came from that is some of the most amazing EDM tracks I've heard, as the way they combine genres and each of them represents the different characters and the setting and the world. Everything kind of comes together in a way that it almost like reflects things like what we've seen from like other amazing artists, like the team behind the Epic the Musical and how they captured
Ooh.
things. It's interesting to see how Matt, with the time that we gave him, was able to create this soundtrack that mirrors that kind of uniqueness and that story and that inspirational. Yeah, yeah, just
Okay.
downright inspirational. Um, again, big shout out to Noma, and again, big thank you to Matt specifically, as he and his work and his time and his music is honestly one of the best people we've worked with. And another person that we have to personally thank, simply because he, as a small artist, making the entire soundtrack for the series and releasing it, right? He he does all of this with no intention of profit or making money or anything like that.
That's impressive. I guess this also leads to my next question then. What are your hopes for Project Yaiba as a whole, and what can we expect from it?
As of the moment, what to expect from Yaiba is a story. It will take time. It will take a lot of work because we've had a lot of ups and downs. We've been working on this project, and one of even one of my friends that is following our project, my buddy Juan, told me, don't rush this. I like what you're doing. Don't rush this. So listening to him, that's exactly what we're gonna do, because it is gonna take time. It is gonna take effort. It may take a while. However, we want to give you guys something genuine, something true, something real. So with that being said, we hope to convey that in our story and in our production.
Believe that we're both in agreement that what is expected for Project Yaiba is that we complete our proof of concept. We have our pilot episode come out, and we show everybody that we're capable of putting out quality work. But beyond the expectations, the dreams and the passion is there that in 2, 3 years we'll have a household name, that we will have a series that is looked on fondly, even if it's not the biggest thing since sliced bread. It would still be rather nice to know that we were able to produce such content, that we were able to monetize it, we were able to pay our actors, we were able to give the world a beautiful story that they liked,
Mm-hmm.
and just be able to say, yeah, we did it.
I guess I'll also start with the other bonus questions. When did Project Yaiba? When did Yaiba Productions start?
It's been around 3 months since we first started and first founded ourselves. What originally kind of started just in that like this 3 month range
Okay.
was, it was AMC Productions, which was the whole kind of like anime manga club
Okay.
productions. But then after we had so many people come to us and be like, hey, you guys are doing something that could be bigger than this. And the thing is, if you take this out of the school space, you can have more creative freedom, which uh, I did kind of agree with, simply because the story we're telling, right, it's unique. It's ours. It's gritty. It's very visceral in a sense with how we do our storytelling and the writing of our characters. So if we were to be a school club doing this, unfortunately, that would come with the limits of us being a school club and being representatives of a school club.
Okay.
Um, yeah, just to, I guess, further clarify that, we also wanted to make sure that we had the ability to secure funding by any means. And when you are a state club, there's a lot of guidelines you got to follow to make sure that you are playing within the rules.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest headaches I always had was that I, as president of the AMC club, cannot just go and make cookies to sell for our own funding because I don't have a license to distribute cookies here at SATE. So in order for us to get our film project going, we're going to need to step outside the school so that we then can do the kind of funding opportunities that are more available to an outside company than an inside student club.
I see. Well, are there other ways that students can contribute to this project?
Honestly, for the biggest thing right now, I'd say supporting the project, just following, liking, being there, viewing our stories, liking our content, all of that. For now, that is one thing that we ask for. That is all we ask for now, simply because we don't want to be those people that just ask for money without us even starting up anything. However, secondarily, one of the things that can also be done to support us is our in-house artist Noma. Streaming his music helps us a lot because those streams, those numbers, they all go up, they all make something.
Mm-hmm.
So each stream does a lot, and more so, each of that helps in a sense that it also supports the artist, and that is in the end what we aim to do. It's not about us as much as we are part of this, as much as we are creating this. It isn't about just the people that you see on the camera right now. It's not just about the money that we receive. It is not about just the money that Yaiba receives. It's about the empowerment we give the people in our community. It is about the empowerment and support we can give people like Noma, who has put in all that time and work.
I see.
Um, I will say though that there is probably one other way that we do derive our support from, since a lot of our Yaiba team members are AMC club members. When we are able to host events and have our funding opportunities for AMC realized, that goes towards creating that environment, that safe after school club environment that shelters all of our members and contributes to our productive capacity, because we need to make sure that our morale stays high, and we need to make sure that we do have these chances to relax after our production is done. So every single time when somebody's coming in for a Mario Kart tournament or any of the events that we run at AMC, they're also indirectly helping out the Yaiba team, because these are all the homes of the Yaiba team members. And so it all kind of works together in order to keep the project afloat.
I see. Well, is there anything else you feel I should ask?
Um, Honestly, I guess it's more so of what would you like to ask?
Oh, what would I like to ask? I guess we can have a glimpse of what the characters are like the plot,
Ooh,
or
um,
without spoiling too much, of course. I know I already
absolutely.
asked it. I already asked this, but just to make sure so the audience
Yeah,
can at least get a feel for what it
absolutely.
is.
Well, I guess with that idea of supporting others, before we get to some of the main characters, an important character of the world that we are in, Mayor Albrecht, which is played by none other than Brendan Hunter, is the sort of foundation of the city. He is what's keeping it sort of official afloat and holding it to its standard. So him in collaboration with the uh, faction known as the Iron Concord, which has one of our main characters, Sigfrido, which is the son of the recently assassinated Don of the city, are the people that will essentially represent the city, represent what it is, how it's controlled, how it's run. Aside from that, we also have another fun character as part of our main cast, which is played by Aryan Momin, which is
Oh.
our friend and also one of the writers and directors of Yaiba, which is a fun one just because as being an
Oh.
indie project, right? You do have to
Mhm.
fill out some roles even with some of the people that are in those head positions. Um, and then we do have another character which has a bit more of the fun kind of concept, which is Gorio, which is a character kind of centered around the whole inspiration that you find from anime games and a lot of Eastern inspired tradition, which is a character that is your more street samurai.
I'd say that a lot of our characters do well to complement each other. Like Gorio being the street samurai, more brawn focused. Sigfrido would be the counterweight to be more of a intellectual and somebody who knows the hard truths of how the city works. He works in concert with the mayor in order to keep the city stable and closer to its traditional values. But there are changes that are coming in the story, so a lot of these characters are going to be developed further past than their stock standard stereotypes. So yeah, I mean, there's the physical, there's the intellectual, and then there's another character that sits on the outside, or rather, they sit on a different level. They're more in the world of the internet.
Oh.
This special character has a very unique skill set for interacting with the rest of the cast. I can't tell you too much about them,
Of course.
but you'll probably get to know them very soon by the symbolisms that they have and the way that they leave their fingerprint on the world.
Do we have an official release date for the project, or is it still a work in progress?
As of right now, we would like to say that Project Yaiba, or more so
Yeah, but
Yaiba
Condemnation.
Condemnation, is coming soon. For the moment, we can't announce an official release date simply
Okay.
because we don't want to set a quick standard and end up like a sort of um, rush situation like some recent productions.
Okay.
So that is one thing we want to make sure we do. Aside from that, one thing people can look forward to in the next coming weeks or maybe the next month would be the series of Yaiba Ashes of Allegory. So you will have that chance to understand a bit more of the world, hear a bit of the backstory, and get a bit more of the build up to what will eventually become Yaiba Condemnation.
So, Ashes of Allegory is the prequel?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay. Okay, just to clarify. All right. Well, I guess that concludes the interview.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes, it's been a pleasure, especially to wax poetically about the past. So thank you for these questions.
Yes, you're very welcome. I hope I did well.